Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everything Passive. Today what we're going to be talking about is a little bit more closer look at the Deeper network, what we can expect for a price target, is it still profitable to mine the Deeper token, and when will the miners actually be released for the general public to come back in for the next batch moving forward. Now, the first thing I want to do, guys, I do want to take a little bit of a closer look at the Deeper website. Now, if we look at it, it's very well built, honestly. You know, if you just take a look, it's very impressive on how they've laid out everything as far as their website goes. Now, if we do go down to the Deeper DPR value, right? I do want to just read this to you guys really briefly. You know, the decentralized private network, the peer-to-peer bandwidth sharing, you know, if we look back onto the concept of Helium, it's very similar in the sense that you're offering something in return and able to mine that certain currency, right? You know, in Helium's case, you're offering more of the sense of, you know, potential witnessing and data transfers, while in the Deeper side, you're offering your bandwidth, right? So if we look at this, Deeper is a platform provider for the decentralized apps. Third-party developers need to stake a certain amount of DPR to have their dApp hosted with the Deeper ecosystem. At the same time, third-party dApps must be able to accept DPR as a means of payment for their service, right? Now, as you read more and more, they talk a little bit more of how the mining goes in play. DPR tokens can be earned and spent via sharing or consuming bandwidth on the network, right? The traditional peer-to-peer network models lack effective economic incentives, which lead to an imbalance between bandwidth usage and bandwidth consumption in practice, right? So we clearly understand that the more bandwidth that you are given, DPR incentivizes users to actively contribute bandwidth to the network by making the overall network more robust and more performant for everyone, right? What does that sound like to you? Very similar to the Helium network, as far as what you give is what you get in return, right? Now, if we do take a look at their white paper, of course, I do want to give these guys a massive shout out. I think it's very well built. This thing goes on for days, but of course, it's not necessarily about how long the white paper is, but it's how it was built, right? What the objective was, did they hit the target? And I think, just honestly speaking, I think they did a phenomenal job of just getting the point across on how well they built themselves up as far as the outline goes. It's just very well thought out, right? But again, let's go back into the website. As we look back into the website, we see the product itself. Now, if you do know, I actually am very well invested into this product for myself. I do own about 3 Deeper Connect minis. They're about to be on the way. They're actually wearing the August batch. So I'm looking forward to receiving these hopefully sometime middle of August, sometime earlier, hopefully, right? But Lord knows, let's see, with this whole freaking pandemic and the way shipments have come, it's been a little bit tricky to get your packages on time. But if we do see on the product side, on the website, right, they've had multiple different stages of the Deeper Connects, from the family side to the light, all the way down to the mini nanos, and now they've recently come out with the Pico. Now, I don't know necessarily if I'm going to be investing into the Pico, if I will be personally purchasing one myself, but I do think it's very interesting on how fast they're able to continuously release new models of their product, just as much as new ideas and new things that they can build around, right? Just as much as the Pico. And if you guys don't know this, the Pico is one of the newer products where you can actually take on the go wherever you like to. Now, of course, the Mini and the Nanos can do technically the same thing, but the Nano's not going to fit in your pocket just as much as the Mini isn't. The Pico, you can literally put in any single pocket. Maybe you use your shirt pocket, or maybe you use your pants pocket. This thing could fit literally in everywhere you want it to, right? But going back down to the Indiegogo website, right? This is where it all started in the terms of being able to purchase your first Deeper miner. Now, fun fact, my story is a little bit crazy. I was actually traveling multiple different cities this day when I was actually literally like 10,000 feet in the sky on a plane when I ran into this. And, you know, honestly, I was a little bit of aware of the project, but with the moment I saw how fast these things were selling off, you know, you can call it FOMO or not, but I was like, you know what, let me snatch 1 or 2 or 3 of these bad boys before everyone else gets them, right? I ended up purchasing about 3 of these, and again, they are going to be arriving sometime in the next 1 or 2 weeks, hopefully, right? Hopefully, with everything in shipping continues going the way it needs to be. But if we do look at the website, guys, you know, when I first saw this, June was completely sold out. The August batch was nearly sold out, and by the time I look back on this website, I tell you not, all there was left was August. There was no more July. And when I did find the August batch, there was only 30 miners left to be bought. People were literally just swallowing these things up whole. Absolute madness, if you ask me, truly. But again, going back into this side of things, guys, the Deeper Connect Minis, the Deeper Connect Nanos are just wiped. You could have bought a little collector's pack if you'd like to, where it came with the Mini and the Nano. But again, I chose to buy 3 Minis, just personally up to you. It's, again, this is not financial advice. It's just truly about what you're looking to do for yourself, right? But again, just a very, very interesting project on how it was looked. And honestly, guys, let's give these guys a massive shout out. This thing's beautiful. It's honestly one of the more prettier miners that you can come across, just as much as, again, it just screams modern. It screams 2021. It doesn't tell me that this is something that was built in the back of a Chinese factory, right? It tells me that this was very well thought out, considering the company is primarily located in California. Now, if we do look at the DPR calculator, for those that are getting into the staking, congratulations. I think it's just a phenomenal opportunity for a lot of people to make a ton of money in a very short period of time, considering you have the money to put up for the staking, right? Not each and every single person had that opportunity, but if you are, congratulations. Now, if you are one of the people that put up the 468,000 DPR in the initial jump, well, you're looking at a very healthy chart for yourself, considering you're going to be looking at making about $190 each and every single day, with about $69,500 at the end of the year with an ROI, with the return on investment. Honestly, nutty. Not including that if you are in this play and you bought in around the 4 to 5 cent region, you've 2 to 3 to 4x your money, right? So again, congratulations to you if that is who you are as a person. If you were able to jump in when everyone else was sleeping, you're winning, right? Now, again, if you are one of these people that are staking from the lower side of things, and let's just go all the way back down to a credit score of 1, I do want to pay a little bit more attention of how dramatic the change is. Now, do I think this is going to impact a lot of the miners? Not necessarily. Again, I think it just depends on what you think this token is truly worth, which is something I'm going to be talking about very shortly, right? Now, with 20,000 DPR tokens mined with about 16.5 cents, which is what it was currently at today, right? We're looking at about $3.50 a day, with about $1,287 or $1,287 at the end of the year as your ROI, right? Now, if we look at this from a long-term play, again, I genuinely think that the token has more room to grow, 1,000,000%, more than just 16.5%. So I'm gonna just jump this number, and let's just say this coin hits $1, hypothetically speaking. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this token will hit $1, but if it did hit $1, we're looking at about $7,800 at the end of the year, with about $2,100 to mine. Now, I know some people, they're like, yo, this token is getting to $10. If this token is getting to $10, well, you're making $213 a day, an absolute killer, with nearly about $78,000 flat. It's an absolute markup, right? Now, again, it's just based on what you genuinely think this token is worth. Do you think it's overvalued, devalued? Again, I do think that the token has more room to grow than 16.5 cents. Do I think it'll hit $10? Well, that's an insane markup again. So I don't know if it'll hit $10 again. And then, who really knows what this company is going to do in the next 12 months or so, what their goal is and what their plan is. But I do think that even if you just go look back on their website to their timeline, right? If we look back onto their timeline, which I'm going to try to find for us right now, right? I think it's right here in Vision. I believe it's in Vision, or am I smoking Big Rocks? Let me see. Here we go. I believe it's right here, right? So if we look at 2018, the company was founded obviously in Silicon Valley, finished developing several core technologies, including Atmos OS, the world's first lock-free network operating OS, right? And Q4, the Deeper Connect prototype was ready, the world's first blockchain-based home security gateway equipped with Atmos OS, right? A plug-and-play simplicity. Very similar to, again, our best friends Helium. Now, if we look at the 2019 Q1, they launched a public test with the POC consensus algorithm of enables fair participation in the blockchain, mining 1,000 plus users and 200 plus paying nodes participants. Q2 partnered with top organizations across traditional blockchain industries, including Harmony, NKN, and SWFT. Q3 completed seed rounding financing. They released a Deeper Connect Lite, which is one of the more traditional ones that they first came out with, right? The big one where I know a lot of people were actually having problems with the fact that it was overheating. being, but I do believe that the Deeper Connect Minis, the 2021 models, are way better than what they were in the past, because again, guys, you know, as innovation continues, you have to expect the first one to have a little bit of the kinks and bumps and bruises, while the new ones are continuously upgrading. You know, if we compare the iPhone 1 to the iPhone 11, of course, it's a no man's consideration, right? These things are completely different from each other and what the capabilities of what they can achieve. Two different things. I wouldn't even consider the first one the iPhone compared to what we have today, right? Now, again, Q4 strategic alliance with Consensus Labs. These guys are just doing numbers. And again, if we look back into holding their word, I think they are holding their word. They're doing a really good job of continuously putting themselves in the front line to make sure people are aware of who they are. Now, Q1 completed pre-A round financing backed up by Gobi China and a bunch of other companies, right? And as they continue with Q2, they continue with these alliances, and the Q3 Deeper Connect Mini launches on Indiegogo, right? 10,000 plus backers backed by 120 countries with almost $1.5 million in USD in sales to date. Very impressive. Now again, Q4 is more following along the lines, and they became a part of the Polkadot ecosystem. Finishing developing the Deeper Connect Nano, even more cost effective and miniature size development than the Connect Mini, approved and granted by W3 Foundation. And of course, this is the big home stretch, the 2021 quarters. Q1 strategic partnership with a bunch of other new companies, right? We can list off the names later, but Q2 finished developing the 6th generation Deeper Connect Mini. They're on 6 generations, guys. If you think that these guys aren't trying to be the highest level of innovation that they can be, you're crazy. You're smoking big rocks. Now, Q3, they finished developing on a mobile app to connect the DPN network. These guys are doing it, guys. And you know, one thing to pay attention to, they're not even talking about their mining. And some might say, well, you know, listen, man, they're trying to avoid the fact of the mining because they don't have confidence in it, or maybe they're trying to hold something back in terms of this is just one marketing scheme to get everyone to buy into the token. You know, in my honest opinion, this tells me and speaks more of a level of confidence that they are not looking to have each and every single buyer come in the sense of trying to earn and trying to make multi-millions of dollars in 1 year. But again, guys, you know, this is just another project that I genuinely believe in. I'm very well invested into this project, just as much as I do buy these coins myself. You know, I got in around 10.5 cents. I've been buying myself, you know, been dollar costing my way back in. But again, I'm pretty freaking up, man. I'm about 60% up on Deeper Network right now. But my investment was quite large compared to some. You know, again, I don't know what your price point was or what your investment was itself. Mine was very large, so I'm up tremendously, guys. But again, if you are looking to invest, this is not financial advice, just a way for me to stretch out my opinion. And if you do find the channel very informative, do your boy a favor, smash like and subscribe, and hit the bell for more future information. Have a great day, guys. Stay subscribed.